So you're going to Lookout Cay.
You don't know where to go.
We got you covered.
We got you right here.
We are here for a full guide, full walkthrough of Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. This is one of Disney's private island destinations. Not a full private island, just a big private beach.
Yeah.
But there is a lot to see and do here. It is very big. We're going to explain everything you need to know and share some tips along the way. Plus, if you're not going, you can live vicariously through us in this video.
So true. We're going to save you a few steps.
Hopefully. We're going to take the steps so you don't have to. Get on our backs.
Come on.
All right, so right when you arrive at Disney's Lookout Cay.
Lookout!
Oh gosh.
Cay.
Right when you arrive at Disney Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point, you'll find yourself crossing through this arch. Now this is technically the little like customs stop, but you don't have to do anything on the way in. You do that getting off the ship, and then you walk a million bajillion miles on the pier. And by that I mean
Which is not so bad.
Kind of a pleasant 10-minute walk. And then they hand you an ice cold cucumber scented towel. Where's my hat? It's on my arm. It should be on my head. You walk a long walk. It looks a lot worse than it is. It is still a long walk. Be prepared for it. You might have to carry a kiddo. They do have these wagons that they provide that you can pull your kids in. There's some cuties going by.
I've also seen a lot of people not with kids using it to pull their coolers, any bags they have. Anything you want to pull it.
And it's complimentary.
Yeah.
Then once we got cucumber scented ice cold towels, and immediately I was over the walk.
Yeah,
I was like,
great.
I don't even remember the walk.
That was nice.
And the walk wasn't bad in the first place. Absolutely a gorgeous island. Eleuthera is amazing. The beaches are gorgeous. Let's go ahead and look a little bit at the layout because you're coming from this very long pier, which is here, and you find yourself here at this little small lookout landing, and you're gonna be like, this is it? No.
No, it's not.
You're gonna get on a tram, and this does not take long. It sounds like a lot. It doesn't really take long. Once you commute, you're there, and you're there in 20 minutes, and then it's great.
Walking this.
No, this is a tram, a really quick tram that has a really cute little audio story on it. It will take you all the way out to all the beaches, which are all over here on this beautiful side of the island. Pink sand beaches, clear blue waters, absolutely gorgeous on a living coral reef with tons of bars, tons of things to do, Bahamian cultural experiences, lots to see and do over on the main part of Eleuthera. And this is a huge nature trail that takes you all the way out to a historic landmark and some caves, all gorgeous. But we're gonna go ahead and talk you through what is over here because it might be super relevant to you. So right when you arrive, you'll find yourself at Turbot Berth. Turbot Berth is the charter boat check-in. This is where you'll check in for any port adventures that you're doing here on Lookout Cay. There are lots of really cool ones. You can see them on the screen now in a little scroll. Lots of very fun options to do excursions while you're here. Also, if you want to just go ahead and kick things off, you can stop by Mangroves and Go, which is a spot that has Dole Whip, it has cocktails, it has specialty coffees and cold brews. So you can go ahead and get yourself a drink for the tram ride at Mangroves and Go. And if there's anything you forgot on the ship and you might need, they've got a selection of essentials here at First and Last Chance stand. They also have some of the Lookout Cay merch, so if you find yourself back over here on the way back to the ship and you're like, oh, I wanted that Lookout Cay hat, it's my last chance, you can grab it here. So little stand to help you out with that. Only other area of note here is that there is a whole section of cabanas. This is the Mabrika Cove Cabana check-in is this way. So you'll just head down this path to check in, and those cabanas are gorgeous. They are obviously very expensive, but we were able to tour one when we were here for the media preview of the destination, and they were very pretty. And then right here, we have these cutie characters which were developed for Lookout Cay, and these are characters of the actual wildlife that can be found here on Eleuthera. This is not a private island. It is a private beach, private section of an island, where we are actually on the island of Eleuthera in the Bahamas. What's cool about that is that, one, the destination is still private, and two, the port adventures that you can do here do include actual exploration of this Bahamian island, which is very cool and a very cool option for those of you that are a little more interested in cultural and natural experiences than just lounging on the beach at your port stops. All of those are bigger options here, whereas Castaway Cay is all beach all the time and bike trails, but really it's mostly just beach. As you can see, here's those wagons. They had them up by the ship too if you needed them for the pier. You can drop them off here, and then they're ferrying them back to the beginning of the pier. You can also purchase water and coolers here for your water. They'll provide you with ice. I don't recommend this. I recommend bringing a reusable water bottle, which you are able to fill up on the ship, and which I did not know, so I dumped all of my water out. Now my water bottle's empty. But you can fill that up on the ship and bring it out onto the island. And then there is fill up later on as well. So a note for if you are at the Cabanas do have their own dining locations as well as bar locations, and they have service directly to the Cabanas, so you don't have to bother with getting anything yourself.
We don't want you to leave anything behind.
Unless it's rotting fruit.
So much prettier. Look at this.
You are
Flowers.
always hungry.
Told you.
Be careful as you exit the tram, and when your day is complete, just return here to the Goombay tram stop.
When you arrive after your little tram ride, you'll arrive at Goombay tram stop and you'll get your towels for the day. So you have your towels, now you're ready for your beach day. Towels! And you return these at the end, you don't have to bother with them like at all, which is great.
So nice.
We immediately think it looks so much more beautiful than when we were here last time. The plants have grown. It was, it just wasn't quite done when they opened, to be honest. And it is looking
in true Disney fashion.
In true Disney fashion, it is looking gorgeous now. The plant life, and I can't wait to get over to the beach. There's a lot to see right when you get off the tram stop.
After you get off this lovely tram stop right here, the first thing you're gonna see is guest services. Hopefully you won't need it, but just in case anything goes wrong, you have any questions, or you're trying to get some port adventure information, you can stop over here at guest services and it's gonna take good care of you. Right next to that is where you're gonna find Disney Tings. This is one of the biggest stores here. In fact, it might be the biggest store, and you're gonna find a lot of that good Lookout Cay merch that maybe you want, especially if you really love the island. It's very, very cutie. They also have Disney themed towels if you don't like these white towels that they give you for free, which I get. They also have spirit jerseys, t-shirts, water bottles, hats, anything that you might need or might just want. And then here to the right, across from guest services, is going to be another Port Adventures check-in. So based on what you're doing, you can also come over here to check in for your port adventures and they'll take good care of you. They also have a few photo ops in this area as well, all based around Junkanoo and different designs of the island. They're super, super cutie, but a lot of basic necessities when you first get off. Right over here. This is also going to be another spot where you can find an easy directory if you're trying to get around the island. So just for a little context, when Quincy showed you earlier, we were down here, as she said. Now we have made our way to right here in the center. As you kind of continue to walk around this first little area, you're gonna see more of those photo ops that we talked about. And then directly behind Disney Tings is where you're gonna find Treasures of Eleuthera. That is the name of the island as well. And this is one of the, I think, really special stops. A lot of this is handcrafted from people on the island. Very, very cool, very unique gifts. So not necessarily those Disney items, but maybe some more unique souvenirs you've been looking for, more Bohemian souvenirs. Right directly across from this shop is where you're gonna find plates and pleats. This is where you're gonna find that classic Bohemian hair braiding. They can also do Dutch and French braids, as well as wraps and box braids. If you're like me and you really want your hair up, but you cannot braid, here she goes, in case you guys wanna learn how to take a picture. Here she goes.
First you stand.
First you stand, you get your pearly whites ready, and you give me that goofy grin. Goofy grin, very cute. I'll take some this way as well. Wow, Quincy, that was good. What is left on this first section that you're gonna hit when you get off that tram, you're gonna see the gathering tree over here, which is really, really beautiful, and just one of the special things about the island. And you can see little nods to different characters throughout the gathering tree decor. I hope that you never have to find where this is. I hope you don't know this, but just in case you need it, which you might, first aid is up here. Even if nothing bad happens, you might just need some medicine or a band-aid. This is gonna be a good spot to take care of you. And actually out here at the front, they have different things that you can just come grab if you need it, like Tylenol, Advil, antacids.
We should grab a couple of those.
Alcohol pads, band-aids, anything that you might need. Okay, now we are leaving that first section, and Quincy's gonna take you to the next spot you're gonna see.
All right, we are headed up to Goombay Cultural Center. This is kind of a center of the island for activities that you'll see here. It's gonna have some actual very cute exhibits about Eleuthera that you should just glance by. Something that's very interesting about Lookout Cay versus Castaway Cay is that they did a lot of cultural involvement from the actual Bahamas, and you can actually learn about the Bahamas and actually experience the place that you are instead of it being a totally Disney-fied destination like Castaway Cay. It is Disney-fied and also the Bahamas. So there's these very cute little exhibits, as well as throughout the day, activities will happen in Goombay Cultural Center, including crafts. You can have some sunscreen. Didn't you make your own Junkanoo headdress here?
My own Junkanoo headdress, and you can too. It was completely free. They have actually the buckets here. And they'll come, when it's time, they'll come and provide a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And then I got to wear it during the Junkanoo celebration.
So just like on the ships, there are crafts and activities all throughout the day. And the cool thing about this island is that some of the staff here are actual Bahamian and Eleuthera natives who come over to share their culture with the guests coming off of the cruise ship, which is very cool.
We've gone baby mode.
We've gone baby mode.
That's what I'm saying is like,
Yeah.
you put your bucket hats on, you pull the hair up, you slick with sunscreen.
Yeah.
We've gone
Baby mode. Also, it took us 30 minutes to apply sunscreen.
She's not joking, it took us 30 minutes.
We're the palest people on this beach.
And you honestly should
It should take you 30 minutes to apply
yeah.
sunscreen. We are here on one of the family beaches. Most of the beaches on Lookout Cay are family beaches. As you can see, it's nice. Up here, you got this whole quiet area with nice beach chairs. Everybody's here. Down straight, you're gonna see the most crowded beach on the island. This is the first beach you will walk up to when you arrive at Lookout Cay. And because of that, most people walk straight out and then walk out to this beach. If you want a less crowded area of the beach, go in either direction as far as you are able, and you will find a much less crowded area. To the left, you're gonna find the adults only beach. We have talked about, Emma and I are not beach people.
Not a beach
We are not ocean people. But we are gonna get in the ocean today. We love how beautiful these beaches are. That ocean is beckoning. It's gorgeous out. It's hot, but not like, I'm not pouring sweat. And it's just beautiful here. So we are gonna find a nice place to get in the ocean as soon as we are done touring with you guys, and maybe getting some lunch. You can see how clear the water is. You can literally see the reefs in the water as you look out there. It is just gorgeous. Yeah, this beach is pretty crowded. The water's pretty crowded. There's plenty of space for everybody, of course. But if you go pretty far down to the right, you're gonna find a lot more space on the beach. Another tip that we heard from cast members on board is that the food location to the right is more crowded than the food location to the left. Lines are typically a little shorter around lunch. True 2 barbecue is the one to the left, and that is gonna be the least crowded one with the fewest lines. So that's a great tip. We got that from our serving team last night. Now, there are excursions, but there's also more chill stuff to do, which if you want to do more of a beach day, this is actually usually my vibe. I would kind of one day love to do one of the Eleuthera natural excursions and actually explore the rest of this island. However, if you are doing more of an enjoy Lookout Cay day, you can do things like snorkel rentals, which I highly recommend, particularly on Lookout Cay over Castaway Cay. There are real, actual living coral reefs all along this beach. You can snorkel a lot more area. It is so cool, and the snorkel rentals are not that expensive. So you can just come grab snorkel rentals at any of these snorkel rental spots. This is one of them, Flippers and Fins. Now for my adults, and also there are some non-alcoholic options, but there are bars all up and down Lookout Cay, both at the family beaches and the adult beaches. We are coming up on Bow and Ribbon Bar, but I'll tell you one thing, the bars all look and have the same menu.
Which is kind of nice if you're trying to relax.
Yes, at first I was like, oh, there's not that much to explore, but actually it's great because no matter where you pick, you know you have access to the best drink options, the same variety as everywhere else. You know you're not missing out on anything. You can actually relax, which is, we've decided we're big fans actually. Because
We had to talk it through.
We did. That's what we did on the pier.
But now we're back.
We're back.
We enjoy
We're
it.
into it. I prefer them being kind of all the same, even though it seems less interesting at first. It actually means that everybody is getting the same experience. You don't have to feel stressed about where you've picked to be on the island. There's nothing better or worse. Everything's good. Any of the bars is also where you can find restrooms on the beach, as well as showers coming off of the beach, just on the side if you need to rinse off from being in the ocean. And then, you know what? Should we get this party started?
I think we should get this party started.
I think we should get this party started. We acquired some drinks. So just some tips about the bar. One, we love this. They serve in these stainless steel cups that keep your drink very cold, even in the sun, even on the beach. And Emma doesn't like this, but they have these straws. What are they made of? Sugar? No.
I don't know what they are, but they dissolve so fast and they are flavored and chalky.
I like them. There are no menus like sitting at the bar. The menus are in your DCL app. If you ask them, of course, they can explain the options. The menus are pretty limited of the actual specialty drinks. There's like 5 specialty alcoholic drinks, 2 0 proof, but these are full bars. You can order whatever you want, and they'll make it for you. So don't worry about the menu being light. Just don't get up there expecting to see a menu and easily be able to pick. You will panic. But all of these bars that look like this all have the same menu. I just went and checked. So you know that if you're going up, they just have that limited menu, but they are full bars, get whatever you want. Next up, we have the Play Pavilion. This is another just kind of empty pavilion space where you can find a whole lot of fun. For instance, there is a beach bash that happens, Fun in the Sun beach bash, that happens with Pluto and Goofy and Chip and Dale. That just wrapped up in here, and as you can see, there's a lot of very happy kiddos who are still milling about with their families. And remember, all along here, we are still on that family beach, so there is still beach. As you can see, we are literally just a bit down the family beach. Look that way. People galore, people soup the ocean over there. Look here. This is a lot nicer. And the beach keeps going over there. This is really, honestly, I think the place to be. If you have the family, I think take them down as far to the right as you can. Grab some chairs. There's not as many beach chairs, but look, they have some stacked. You could grab some other ones. You could ask for some other ones.
There's a lot all stacked on the other side as well.
Yeah, there's tons of chairs. And then it's just this beautiful empty water that you and your family can hang out in without being in just like swarmed with people. This is what I would do. If you're adults only, you can also head to the adults only beach, but I will tell you, this is probably less crowded than the adults only beach. It's not empty. The vibes are hype usually at the adults only beach. If you want empty, far right. Also, I just want to look at those rocks for the rest of my life. Next up, we are next to another one of those bars. We're headed to the Reef and Rec bar though. Same menu, and we will put it to the test to find out. We are stepping just onto the beginning of the nature trail. There is an entire walkable free nature trail that is a huge loop all through the far end of the island. It takes you all the way out down by some of the caves. If you don't want to do the full trail, consider walking down here to this kind of empty end of the beach and walking down towards the rocks and the islands and the cave because it is so beautiful down here. And I think, yes, it's easy to like play and have fun in the sun and meet Disney characters all day, but the truth of the matter is you are on a tropical island in the Bahamas, one of those beautiful natural locations on planet Earth. And if a walk is something that is doable for you and your family, I think maybe taking an hour or two to come actually see the beauty of the island is 100% maybe the #1 must do. There's these informational signs all throughout the trail where you can learn about the plant life and animal life of Eleuthera, the natural island environment that you're on. It's very cool. Water station. Another tip though, the island is huge. It is not like a quick jaunt over to the nature trail. And Castaway Cay is also very big, has tram stops all along it. I like that you can navigate this island without tram stops, but if you are walking like over to one of the pavilions or far into the
bikes.
Yeah, so does this.
Does it?
I saw a bike path, I thought.
There you go.
You can getting around is like definitely a longer walk. So I think it's a good idea to have in mind what you want to do, what you're planning on doing before you step foot on the island to make sure that you're not spending a lot of the day with long walks, which is, we are not lost, by the way.
No, we're not.
Sometimes we would be, but you could get lost easily.
Now, if you have any kiddos with you here on Lookout Cay, Sebastian's Cove might be the place for you to go. Sebastian's Cove is a child care center. It's for ages 3 to 10, and it is one of the really exclusive areas for them. No, you can't bring outside food, drink, glass, none of that, but it's really just a fun Sebastian themed kind of splash and play area. It's very, very cutie. I don't have a child, so I'm not going to be going in, but it has a lot of interactive water features and it is very, very cute. If you're going to be dining here on Lookout Cay, one place you might stop is True Barbecue. This is going to be the biggest spot to eat at, and luckily both locations have pretty much the same dining options. You can find things like flavorful fish, roasted barbecue, rotisserie chicken, wings, burgers. I mean, it's a lot of just like classic barbecue food. It's pretty tasty. You can also find a lot of soft serve ice cream, unlimited drinks, and just lots of good, fun dining. If you're hoping to eat, this is where you're coming. It's not like Disney World, there's not optional walk-up kiosks. This is the spot you're coming to. Luckily, this is also a picky eater's paradise. You can find things like cheeseburgers, hot dogs, mac and cheese, french fries, lots of classic options as well as that tasty barbecue. One thing that is important to note is this is not open the entire time that you're here on the island. And if you miss it, you miss it. You're gonna have to get back on board to eat, which can be frustrating, especially if you're hungry and you're someone who likes to dine a little bit later. Now, hours can vary, so definitely check your cruise navigator app, but it is not open all day. It's actually only a few hours.
Today for us.
Today it's only 12 to 2. So definitely don't hesitate if you want to eat. If you don't care and you are willing to get back on the boat to eat, then do whatever you want. But if you want to eat on the island, you need to pay attention to those hours. When it comes to seating around all of the dining options, you're gonna find these nice, lovely pavilions that have a lot of picnic tables. Now, it's gonna be a little bit of a fight at times to get a good table in here because look how nice and shaded it is. There's a lot of tables around with umbrellas on them as well.
Eating a little later will get you lower crowds, so eat maybe a late breakfast because it is noon. Right now, these places just opened, so everyone who's hungry and eating at that peak noon mealtime, they're all here right now. It's actually not even noon, it's 11:44. I think it might open at 11.
Okay, there you go. And that's why you're checking your navigator app because things change.
Lunch. 11:30 to 2.
11:30
so
to
these
2.
just opened and people were hungry, so they are slammed. They probably will be slammed until 12:30.
Now here's another one of those bars we keep talking about. This is the Watering Hole Bar. It is one of many that we're going to talk about. It has all the same options. Very nice, very tasty, lots of bathrooms. We're not going to go into too much detail because like I said, menus are the same, options are the same. It's just another bar that if you are somebody who's looking for a nice refreshing drink, you don't have to walk too far. If you're looking for a nice refreshing cold drink that is not alcoholic, we're gonna head over to Sensational Smoothies, which is this right here. Ooh, smoothie. Now this is Sensational Smoothies. This is where you're gonna find some frozen drinks and some specialty drinks. Right now they have options like the pineapple teaser, the salted coconut, mango float, tropical teaser, and all of those are non-alcoholic, so anyone can enjoy them. They also have specialty drinks like the peaches and cream iced tea that is a tea with cold foam. That sounds amazing. Spicy watermelon, limeade. This is going to be the spot for something fun that is non-alcoholic. Right down the boardwalk from Sensational Smoothies is where you're gonna find one of the best kids areas as well. All right, now this area, this is Rush Out Gush Out water play, and this is going to be an area that everyone can go to. This is the water play area that is so big, larger than life, and tons of fun. They have massive slides, they have a lot of fountains, and just different places to splash and play. Now they do have little characters hidden throughout this area, which is a lot of fun, but really if you're looking for slides, maybe a little bit more of a water park feature, this is where you're gonna come. And this does not necessarily have an age restriction the way that Sebastian's does on the other side. One really nice thing about this area is that Sensational Smoothies, the Watering Hole Bar, and Rush Out Gush Out are all right here next to you, all on the beach. So you don't have to go far, even if your families are kind of looking for different options or different things that they enjoy. Those three things are all right here together. One thing I do want to note about Rush Out Gush Out is if your kiddo is under 12, you absolutely have to be with them for some adult supervision. They cannot just come over here by themselves. So don't send them off and think that they're allowed to go down these slides, because they're not. For another spot to eat on the island, one we've kind of already mentioned is going to be True 2 Barbecue. Now look at all these lovely pavilions, so much shade, so much seating, super nice. Now True 2, kind of hard to say, but it's gonna have those same offerings that you're gonna find at True Barbecue. Chicken burgers, barbecue. There are a lot of really tasty options here. This is also where you're gonna find a lot of easy water refills. You're gonna find sodas, anything you might need to kind of cool off, take a break. Now these have the same hours, so it's not going to be all day. Today it is 11:30 to 2, but if you want to go snack, this one is a lot more chill than True Barbecue. It's also been open for close to an hour now, so like Quincy said earlier, don't necessarily go right when it opens unless you are starving. Then go a little bit before it opens and just be ready to get in line as soon as you're able.
Immediately in front of True 2 Barbecue, there is a full bathrooms pavilion. This one's gonna be a little bit bigger, so it is actually a good spot to swing by for the restrooms. We are also getting down to a part of the beach that is for more of the cabanas. Now these are the Serenity Bay cabanas, so we're getting down towards the adults only beach, but the cabana offerings are the same whether you're at the Serenity Bay ones or the ones right when you get onto the island. These cabanas are incredible. If we win the lottery, we won't tell anybody, but there will be signs. Yeah. We'll be at these cabanas. They are so beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. If you are considering a cabana, if you have the option, I would try to get the ones over in Mabrika, because these ones are right on the main beach that everybody's on. And there's a lot of walking traffic over to Serenity Bay right out the back of your door. These ones also don't all go right out to the beach. You have to go over and access to get to the beach, whereas the ones on the other side do, but that beach is a little rockier. Now we are heading over to our final section of the island. This is the adults only section, Serenity Bay. Woohoo! Over here we do have the final of our food locations, the secret third option, you might say. This is Serenity Bay Barbecue. This one is going to be the smallest, and that is why we actually say the shortest lines are in that middle one, because most folks are going either to the biggest or adults only are headed here to the smallest, and this one does get longer lines. We're past peak meal time now, so if you do eat a little bit later, you're not going to have too much issue regardless. But as you'll see when we get up here, they are offering pretty much the same stuff at every single one. The seating, there's also less seating over here in Serenity Bay. Of course, there are fewer parties that are going to come over and eat over here that are completely adults only. But there is Sebastian's Cove, a children's play area where you can drop your kids off and maybe go enjoy the adults only beach for a little bit. That is an option. Or you can keep the family together all day and not bother with coming over here. I'll tell you, it's nice, but I wouldn't say that it's anything super special. The Serenity Bay over on Castaway Cay, I think is amazing. I love going over there, the vibe's awesome. I think Serenity Bay here, it feels a lot like the rest of the island as long as you find a more chill section. Also, we have the Blue Hole Bar here. As you can see, this is another one of those bars that looks like a hat. They have more cocktails listed here. They do at the other spots. This one is listed at the other spots, but this one actually does have a different menu. Several more on the rocks cocktails, definitely some more frozen drinks here. So it's still not a super huge menu, but it definitely is a little bit bigger than the bars on the rest of the island. And also you can always ask if they can make any of these at the other bars. It's a full bar, so they likely have the experience. Of course, for my adults, this is also going to be a quieter beach in general. Not necessarily because it's less crowded, but because there's fewer kiddos. And kiddos have a lot of fun. They get loud, which I love that environment. But sometimes you want a little bit more relaxing, quieter environment, and Serenity Bay is called it because it's supposed to offer that. Lots of chairs available here, but as you can see, not as empty as that far right side of the family beach. Definitely more empty than that first part where you get right off the boat. Again, don't go to the first beach you see when you get right off the boat. Go a little to the far left or far right. Also, plenty of beach that you can go on a nice walk and go walk as far as you want. Not quite as far as you want, but you know, go down and see the different natural areas of the island. I think this is probably where we're gonna hang out, mostly though just because we landed here. The thing about Lookout is the only bad place to be is that dead center immediately when you get off the tram location where it's super crowded. Everywhere else is pretty equal and nice to hang out at. Sitting on the beach.